No, my husband can't join your team. He's a bald fucking pussy. He's even a useless father to Marin.
Marin can join our team then. That's okay, right? You know how to do an RKO, Marin? If we have a baby on our team, another fighter will kill her by mistake and get disqualified. You cold motherfucker.
Is my baby in danger at this tournament?
No! We sense some real, hidden potential in Marin. Like when Gohan went crazy against Raditz. Or some shit like that.
Okay, that's fine then.
Alright!
Johnny.
Yes, Papa.
Stealing boots?
No, Papa.
Telling lies?
No, Papa.
Oh God, you took the wrong son.
Good morning to you! Good morning to you! We're all in our places! We're such amazing!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my dojo. The class is in session. Your boy Ronald Dragon America here. Back at it again. Doing a live stream on my podcast. It's been a while for that. I actually done a live stream on the podcast. I did one last year. Kind of waiting on AnimeAj and a couple other my guests. Hold on. And I'm still waiting.
time is it?
Video.
Cooking turkey time!
Reach in there and pull it out.
What is this?
It's turkey dick.
Ew!
Why did you make me do this? You're fighting so you can watch all of these mascots die. Think, Luigi. You'll outlast every fragile, insignificant franchise in this game. You'll live to see these series turn into pachinkos or mobile only. Everything and every game from your childhood will be ruined. What will you have after 500 consoles?
I'd still have you.
Professor, I'm 10 years old and I'm ready to pick a Pokemon.
Not until I get mine first, dork. Now, boys, you'll both get your chance. Now, before I can give you your Pokemon, you have to answer a few questions for me.
Okay, shoot.
All right. Well, first, are you a boy or a girl?
Huh? I'm, a boy, right? Right, I'm a boy?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know, it was just like a kind of a curveball. I'm a boy.
Now, what is your name?
You don't remember my name?
Who would want to remember you?
Shut up, Gary. It's Ash.
Ah, yes, of course, Ash. Now, to your left, that's your rival, my grandson. You've known each other for years. What's his name? Grandpa?
Grandpa, what are you doing?
What's his name, Ash?
Is he having a stroke? Grandpa, come on. It's not funny. Grandpa, it's Gary. Gary Oak? I'm your grandson. You can't forget me.
What's his name,
Mom
Ash?
said you were forgetting, but no.
What's his name, Ash?
Come on. It was so many years ago. Come on. It's Gary Oak. Ash, can you call my mom? I think he's forgetting.
Dick fuck. Ah, yes, my grandson, Dick Fuck.
What?
Ash, you must be prepared for the journey ahead.
My name isn't...
You will meet great
No.
foes and
No.
many Pokemon.
No.
What's wrong, buddy?
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
It's okay. We're gonna figure it out.
Were you followed?
No, I don't think so.
Can you hear me, Ronnie D?
Yes, I can. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, man. What's up with your mic?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you sound kind of muffled. Well, looks like we're going to get a reconnection here, Productioneers. While we're waiting for Ronnie D to rejoin, I'm going to set things up. Let's see. There we go. Ah, welcome back, Ronnie D. Now I can see your PFP and everything. How's your mic sounding?
What's good, buddy? What's good? What's good? How's it going?
There we go. Let me switch my audio real quick. There. Now it should be good. How you been, Bo? How you been, buddy?
Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah, you sound good with that. You sound much clearer now.
That's good to know. I didn't know what was going on my end. I didn't know or see it.
No
So you
problem.
did something.
No problem. Thanks for being patient with me.
No problem.
I got a little distracted with another anime live stream over with Brandon, the anime guy on YouTube. They're doing romance anime lists. And you won't believe how many anime technically qualify as romance.
I know Inuyasha does. I know.
I mean, pretty much almost every
Rosario
anime
Vampire
is romance,
does.
right?
Eureka 7.
What about Fist of the North Star?
I can see that too. I actually can see that.
Okay, and Berserk? I mean, what is?
I can see it. I can see it having elements, but that's going to be hard to sell as a love story.
It would be the same. It's technically kind of the same as Fist of the North Star. Everything that
Kind of like a tragic love story, I guess you could say.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a tragedy,
that
not
kind of
comedy.
thing. That's the best I can
But
come up with.
everything the main character does in Berserk and Fist of the North Star is for their love interest. It's for the female lead.
Right.
Right. Like I even look. There are very few. If I look at my anime, my shelf where I keep all my anime DVDs and Blu-ray, there are very few that do not have any kind of romance subplot or element as part of the story.
Right.
Yeah. So tonight's topic, the main topic to launch things off of is I got the idea. I've been wanting to have another Konspiracy collab with you. Hollywood is dead. Everyone should watch anime. What do you think?
I mean, you're not saying anything that's new because that's been something that's been said and repeated by a lot of people lately, rinsed and repeated.
Right, but I got the idea from I got the idea for this main topic from It's a Gundam. He posted a video, and the title literally was "Hollywood is dead. Watch anime instead." And I was like, "That's a good I want to do a talk. I want to talk with Ronnie D and Ruby King and just go on about that. It's like fuck all these.
Yeah, too bad it's hard to get Ruby
Hollywood.
King to in a collab nowadays.
Right. Well, I get how it is. We work day jobs, so we got to focus on that in order to be able to sustain our hobby. Kind of like the protagonist of Gates. He joined
Let me
the
start my
military.
job soon this week.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, the main protagonist of Gates, he joined the military to fund his hobby. So his job is literally he just works his job just to fund his hobby, and he happens to be an otaku of some sort. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I do my job just to fund my hobbies too. Who done?
I feel you. I mean, most of my job mostly to fill on, finance our living expenses. Me and my
Yeah,
brother.
so, of course you can't.
But
You
it
can't
does
spend
sometimes
money.
help to facilitate some of my hobbies too.
Right, you can't fund your hobby if you don't have a roof over your head.
Exactly.
So of course, that takes precedent. I always pay my rent and my bills first before, or at least make sure that I've got the finances to have those covered before I take anything extra to, buy anime.
I get you.
So with that said, because that would be part of the topic with Hollywood being dead and watch anime instead, physical media is the future now. Because with that said, with Hollywood being the way it is, anime is technically in trouble. We've been having the issue. It's only gotten worse in the last couple of years. Crunchyroll was bought up by Funimation. They're now closing down the Funimation services. Everything's going, they're moving as much of their anime catalogs and licenses over to Crunchyroll. They bought up Right Stuff Anime, so the leading distributor of physical media for the anime and manga community was based in Iowa, and it got bought up by the Funimation Crunchyroll company. And now it's gone. They've made everything online, as if they're the Amazon of anime, and it's disgusting. So, when it comes to, I've always been a big supporter of buying physical media as an anime fan. So that's one thing, we can keep in there. Let's see. And with that said, that leads into things like the whole censorship of anime, because, people are talking about, oh yeah, you got a subscription to Funimation or Crunchyroll, you technically don't own the anime. And then they can put whatever subtitles and whatever English dub they want and just change stuff. Heck, with that said, this all, bringing us full circle now, to get things going with the conversation, there's Berserk is being re-released. The 1997 version is being re-released on Blu-ray now, which is cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I may have mentioned it previously in one of your live streams earlier. However, there's about 20 to 25 minutes cut from the runtime compared to the original DVD release.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this. I remember that.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm not spending $60 for the Blu-ray version. I'm going to spend $60, and I got the original DVD version of the 97 anime. Because I don't want anything cut from my Berserk.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, bringing it back, again, Hollywood, let's start off with all that kind of stuff. Hollywood is dead. Watch anime instead. What are your thoughts?
I mean, the name is everything you just said. What you just said said it all. Pretty much.
But I mean, are there? When you think about movies, let's say last 4 years, what are some good movies we're watching that were made in the U.S.?
What I'm saying, let's keep real. I can name a couple of franchises that were popular that I liked it growing up.
Yeah.
And even ones that are very masculine, they're more target audience towards dudes, have been feminized. Let me start off with one. American Pie.
Oh yeah.
I remember American Pie. I loved American Pie.
Yeah, it was
when it was coming around, I was too young to watch it, but I always had buddies whose parents didn't get too fucked to let them watch it. Or who had cool parents.
Right.
Or the rerun movie used to come on, and I would catch it.
Yeah.
And bruh, I love the Stickler family.
Stickler,
they made my childhood.
Yeah.
They made my childhood. But I did not like the release on American Pie movie that came out on Netflix.
Oh, they made it on Netflix? I have no idea about it.
American Pie Girls Rule.
Oh, that sounds dumb.
Yeah. I mean, it had one of my most favorite actress crushes on there, Madison Pettis. Hit your boy up if you ever hear this see this live stream. Hit your boy up, for a dinner date. Yeah. Don't judge me.
It would have been, I think, maybe a good idea would have been to do like a prequel and make American Pie band camp.
Yeah, but they dropped the ball on the whole thing. They made it a whole feminist. It was as it was. The name says it was pretty much a feminist movie, pretty much.
A feminist woke thing.
Yeah, where it was about.
Yeah.
It was as I say, girls rule and boys drool. I guess.
Right.
That kind of dumb shit.
What's her name? The love interest from the first movie. She's like, at this one time at band camp, like why not take a story like that? Maybe get somebody new to play her as a young version, and let's see, actually give us the story from that perspective. To just make it raunchy from the girl's perspective without it having to be, oh, girls are better than boys, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It wasn't. It was. I guess that movie was bearable. It wasn't. It didn't feel like an American Pie movie like I was used to seeing. It just wasn't American Pie. It was just more of a feminist propaganda type movie.
Okay.
It had a lot of. It did keep some of its level of sexual proclivity, just like most American Pie movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like at the end it was trying too hard.
Right. I kind of feel the same way about the last actual American Pie movie that came out, where it was supposed to be a spin-off, and the only character it had from the original franchise or movies was the dad, right? And they were trying to take American Pie and make it into like a National Lampoon kind of series of movies. And I felt it wasn't going to work, and it kind of didn't work. A lot of people, critics panned it.
Yeah. Another one I wanted to another Netflix remake of a movie was, you remember She's All That? You remember She's All That?
Yeah, I remember She's All That.
Well, they made a reverse version of that one. He's All That.
He's All That. Okay.
Yeah. Well, basically, instead of the girl getting the makeover, it's basically the guy getting the makeover. And the one thing the funny thing about it is, the guy who was supposed to be the guy who's the character getting the makeover was not even a bad looking person. He was basically the guy who plays the son of Johnny in Cobra Kai.
Okay.
And I'm like, are y'all really going to try to try to sell the fact that it's one thing you're making the reverse version of She's All That, but the person you're trying to do the whole reverse with the whole concept of the movie is not even close to being undesirable or like an Ugly Betty type character.
Right, kind of like how they did.
You can look at the dude's character, itself, and say like, this is a guy who can still pull girls, regardless. Like,
remember that Mel Gibson. Go ahead.
Like, your attempt to try to do the whole male reverse, gender reverse, failed already epically because the guy you picked a pretty person to be the gender reverse.
They do a similar thing with what you're talking about. Remember the Mel Gibson movie, What Women Want?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They did the same thing. They did a gender and race swap of friggin', it's called What Men Want. Same concept and plot, but from a woman's perspective, an African American woman's perspective. Like that was the lead character.
Oh, you mean Taraji P. Henson?
I don't remember names.
Was it a black woman?
It was a black woman. It was called What Men Want, and it was essentially like it was a swap version.
Where she could read dudes' minds,
just like Mel Gibson could read women's minds, and it was called What Women Want.
Taraji P. Henson, yeah, I've seen the movie.
Yeah, so they did the same. Like, there's been a lot of
that's the actors. I think we had a conversation about that. Complain about her low pay when she did Color Purple with Oprah.
Okay.
I spoke on that. She that same actress.
Okay. I didn't. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since we talked. Remember that?
Like, cause she talked about the. Cause I remember we talked about the concept of how black actresses usually get paid lesser than their male black counterparts, or even the male white counterparts, especially, or the male white female counterparts.
Right. Yeah, okay.
And how they complain about them saying that they don't translate well overseas, like other actors.
Exactly.
And I said, like, I don't know about that. Because you got some black actors who have translated overseas, like Will Smith, Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, and a couple others. But those are black males.
Right.
When it comes to black females, that's pretty thin.
Mm-hmm. Well, not that.
It's not that thin, but it's pretty thin. It's not as extensive as a black male, and even the black male actor is not that large.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, there are some, white male actors who don't pull the big bucks anymore like they used to, and some that
Well, that's because a lot of the ones you probably talking about aged out,
right? Like
or
some
did something
people
stupid.
used to, and even back in the day when certain male actors were popular across the board or overseas, others weren't. So it just like the European and Asian moviegoers, their preferences or actors and actresses they find appealing, it does differ compared to American audiences. So there's that factor as well, but there's a lot. It's a very complex in that regard. But switching it up from old movies that we remember and how they're taking certain movies and then just like gender or race swapping them. What about because this was one thing about Hollywood, and with Hollywood dying and everything, one of those key things about that, or that is a symptom of the death spiral of Hollywood, is the MCU and Disney. So with that said,
right.
bring them. We got to bring Disney, even though they're not in Hollywood per se. They're in Florida, but even though there's a Hollywood in Florida, but Disney has been a big problem. Apparently, there's rumor that Elon Musk may buy up Disney.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, it has something like there's all this talk and hearsay going on, circling all the stuff with Gina Carano's lawsuit against Disney and how, Elon Musk is backing her up on it and stuff. Like, apparently he's suing Disney or something, which makes sense because Disney pulled their advertising dollars, right? They pulled their money from Twitter because Elon Musk's Twitter doesn't, he's not going to do what they want. And that's the whole thing that's why a lot of other advertisers pulled out, is because, it's like they paid money and they don't want their ads appearing to tweets or posts of certain individuals or certain topics. So that was the thing about Twitter, was that it was being censored because of all those big companies, whether it was the auto industry, whether it was the healthcare industry, whether it was the movie industry. They're paying Twitter. We want our ads to appear here, but we don't want this content appearing next to our ads per se, right? And Disney's recent tip between Disney and Elon is that they, Bob Iger did that, and Elon Musk. That was the whole thing about Elon Musk saying, if you're going to blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? And that's just, to me, that's a W. Elon Musk is proving that, I've mentioned it with you on multiple occasions. Twitter is not dying. It's not going to go away anytime soon. And whatever the growing pains it's going through to become the new X that it is, dude, it's just going to keep growing. It's got nowhere to go but up. And like I mentioned with you, we'll see that. We can confirm it once and if, only if, Twitter becomes an IPO again. Then that would mean that Elon Musk won. And to me, he's already winning because they tried to when he bought stock in it, they tried to prevent him by bribing him with a seat on the board. And then when he refused that and went to go buy him out, then he tried backing out. They forced him to buy it. They forced him to go through with it. And honestly, I think I wonder now, looking back the last year and a half, I wonder if he did that on purpose or intentionally in order to get them to let him buy it. Because they were so against the previous owners of Twitter were so adamant. Even the board of directors, the shareholders, like they did not want him having it. But Twitter was already going down the drain before he got it. He was trying to save it and pull it out of there because I mentioned before, he's already proven that the FBI and CIA were in bed with the Twitter people, already pushing the censorship. And now he's cleared it all out. And people are like, oh, everybody's been complaining. And yet people who were complaining are still using it. And all we're seeing is a huge growth of VTubers, VTuber artists, anime art. Like, this is becoming the new... It's basically going to make YouTube look like friggin' MySpace. That's what I'm thinking now. And that's what I've been saying is that, it's going to become a new content creation.
So so basically it's going to do this to YouTube eventually.
Yeah. People, I mentioned with you as well previously in some of your live streams, there are YouTubers, big and small, and there are quite a few other VTubers who are starting it now that are streaming to X, and apparently you do not have to have a paid subscription to X to broadcast on X. You would just need something like OBS, and then you verify your account through OBS, and boom, you're streaming on your Twitter account.
I ain't gonna say that YouTube's gonna die.
No, YouTube's not gonna die. It's not, but it's not gonna be as relevant. Facebook is definitely not gonna be relevant.
I ain't worried about no Facebook like that now, but I understand YouTube. You gotta look at the content creators that came out of YouTube and still exist on YouTube. Bishop Beats is one of those, and I think he made it clear that he's never gonna give up on YouTube now.
I'm not saying that you give up on YouTube.
And then there's Felix, PewDiePie, and many others.
Right. Well, PewDiePie is technically retired too.
Huh?
PewDiePie is technically retired too.
Yeah, but I think he still drops content every now and then.
You got to keep it going. Otherwise, if you just stop doing stuff, you're really not gonna see a continuation of revenue. But he gets so much more revenue from ads and sponsorships that he doesn't really need the channel anymore. He has such a huge fan base and support from his fans that why would you give up on it? Especially as big as he has been and the kind of stuff that he's done. So it's all, from my perspective, sometimes I see his videos and it's more like a vlog. It's like just having a vlog. But it's also pretty cool because he's sharing things and then he does other things. So he's still creating content. It's just not, he doesn't have to make, it's not necessarily a full-time job, even though that's where he's getting most of his sponsorships and ad revenue. He became so big that he doesn't need to work. That's how it's going. And that's why he, when he said he was retiring, that's what it meant. Without him having to actually spell it out in that sense. He is living the dream. He's in Japan. He's got Marzia. He's got a beautiful son. Like, dude, he's gone above and beyond. But bringing it back to Disney, getting off the Twitter Disney thing, Disney, they're not doing so hot in the movie entertainment business. They're still, it's again, Elon. There's rumors supposedly that Elon may potentially buy Disney. Who knows? I haven't heard any other rumors or hearsay about how George Lucas may be buying Lucasfilm back. Apparently, to talk about selling off Lucasfilm Like that literally just died. It was dropped like a hot potato, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
But let's swing it over. Let's bring it to MCU, as I mentioned. The MCU. I mentioned to you earlier when you were streaming Street Fighter 6 earlier. Deadpool 3 trailer. Did you see it? Like you said you would?
No, I had a hard time finding it, actually.
What? Man, it was on YouTube. Like, Ryan Reynolds himself posted it on his account.
But usually it pops up in advertisements. Like when you go to an advertiser or go to videos. So I probably will come across it.
Well, like I said, all you got to do is just go pull up Ryan Reynolds' Twitter account. It's right there. I think it's a pinned post, maybe. But it was just yesterday. All you got to do is just type in the Deadpool 3 trailer on YouTube, and I'm sure you'll find it. The title is officially Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, let me try to look for it right quick, then. You don't mind?
Man, go ahead.
Okay.
But they don't show him. They don't show Hugh Jackman, even though I've seen screenshots from the set of Hugh Jackman in his Wolverine costume. It looks awesome. I was just kind of like, I was hoping that they'd show a bit of it in the trailer. So maybe you'll see something in the second trailer, because they're going to probably release 2 more trailers, 2 more teasers, you know what I mean? But all they show us, if any of you productioneers are out there listening, all they show us in Deadpool 3, in the Deadpool 3 trailer, the Deadpool Wolverine trailer, they just give us Wolverine's silhouette. That's all you see at the end. They don't show anything of Wolverine until the very end. And from the scenes that they use in the trailer, this is going to be like Loki, the Loki TV show. It's going to be levels of that. They're basically going to acknowledge the Marvel multiverse, and they're going to be showing. Apparently, they're going to be having, they're going to be taking cues from like the end credits scene of the first Deadpool, where Deadpool went back and killed, the bad version of himself from the Wolverine Origins movie. They're going to apparently they have the Fox, the 20th Century Fox logo in the background of one of the scenes during the trailer, and I was like, what do they have planned? Like, what can we expect in the new Deadpool movie? So it's going to be interesting. So we lost Ronnie D there, but we're going to get him back. Don't worry, productioneers. While we wait for him to get back, let's stay hydrated and do a little stretch, okay? I mean, I'd play the Deadpool trailer on the stream, but I'd rather not get hit by anything regarding the video, or rather the music and audio from the trailer, because that's definitely there's a song or two that's copyright. I know one for sure would be. While we wait for Ronnie D to get back, 'cause it's only like a minute and a half long. Anybody out there, any of you productioneers, see your guys' Oakwood's first and brand new AMV of 2024. I did another Dragon Ball Z music video. It was pretty fun. Got that finished by the end of January and sat on it. Kept it in post-production phase for about a week and a half before releasing it, just to make sure I had it the way I would like. And it turned out pretty good. It's already getting good stats. It's not spectacular or anything compared to my Chainsaw Man AMV. But that was the second best, if not the top rated video from last year. my Yofukashi no Uta, or Call of the Night AMV. That was the first best AMV of 2023, released last February. So that one will be a year old. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 1 year anniversary of my Call of the Night AMV. And then when I released my Chainsaw Man music video later that year, that one beat it. It blew it out of the water by 100+ views, especially in the short time frame that it got those numbers. But so far, this one, it's not getting like really high views. My DBZ AV maybe only has 10 views so far, but the other stats, the click-through rate is pretty high compared to most of my other videos. So thank you to everyone who is subscribed to my channel and checked out the video. Thank you very much. Much appreciation going to Ronnie D and Ruby King for being the first to comment on the video and give it a thumbs up. Yeah, so one thing that they've been talking about on Twitter is whether or not the Deadpool 3 movie, I think even It's a Gundam. Was it It's a Gundam? No, Doomcock. Doomcock was, wondering aloud whether or not Deadpool 3 is finally going to save the MCU. So, Ronnie D is back, everybody. Thank you.
I hope you're not. I am Marvel Jesus.
Yeah, he is he's going like, I am the like he is literally breaking the fourth
Just to
wall.
let you know, I'm not new to pegging, but Disney is.
Like he is, it's like, dude, and that's the thing. That movie was still going through production while the writers' strike and the actors' strike was going on. Because Ryan Reynolds was apparently I heard that he partially funded the movie, and that like the production company was like semi-independent from Disney. So that's why they were able to make the movie while the strike was still ongoing.
Wow.
Remember the writers' strike and the actor strike that was going on last year?
Yeah, I remember that.
The movie was being produced while that was happening.
Really?
Yes. A lot of Disney stuff, and even other Marvel movies were put on hold, or their schedules were delayed and pushed back by a year or two. Heck, the two Avengers movies. There was supposed to be an Avengers movie this year. They pushed it. They delayed it by 1 year and 2 years for Avengers 4 and 5. Wow. Yeah, they were supposed to be 2024 and 2025. They're now going to be 20. I think Secret Wars may still be coming out this year. But the second one, the follow-up, Part 5, the one about the Kang Dynasty or whatever, that one is scheduled for 2026, if not 27. I could be wrong, but yeah, like those two movies have been delayed. They've been pushed back. So I'm feeling confident that maybe Secret Wars is not going to be out this year. I think originally it was planned for, but because of that actor strike and the writer strike, it got delayed. I know it got delayed. I know they both. I just don't remember the dates specifically. Although I could go ahead and take a moment and look that up. So while I'm looking that up, what do you think of the trailer?
One, I ain't gonna lie. I'm actually kind of dizzy for this one because they didn't change it or fuck anything up. Yet. I don't know yet because I gotta see the movie first. But from what I'm seeing, it seems like typical Deadpool.
Yeah. I'm feeling actually kind of hyped. Like, this is actually, to me, this is like, I'm like, this is probably going to be better than the Spider-Man movie. Far From Home.
Yeah. And I think they're going to do a Spider-Man 4 movie. They're supposed to be dropping.
They're supposed to be a Spider-Man Venom crossover coming up.
Well, I wonder how that turns out.
Right.
I just want. No, really, the only Spider-Man movie I'm trying to look forward to is another Spider-Verse movie, a Spider-Verse 3.
Okay, I pulled it up. So, Phase 6 of the MCU. Guess how many movies they have planned for?
3.
5. And that's a very paltry number compared to the previous phases.
Hey, I was close then.
Right. But that's what they call Phase 6. Because I know Phase 5 started off with the third Ant-Man movie, and that was a disaster.
Yeah, and then there's the fact that the main villain has been fired.
Right.
On some bullshit. And that what gets me now. Now, I'm sorry, but I hate to throw race in this, but this was some race-based crap.
Dude, what he
He
did.
didn't assault her. He did not do nothing wrong to her. Like, if you watch that video cam, he did not put his hands on her like in a violent way. All he did was put her back in the vehicle.
If it was anybody else, just like any other white man, they would have cancel culture would have gone after him for the fact that
Nah, I'm sorry, dude,
wanted
but
to do
no.
anything.
You gotta look for this stuff. And also, I don't think you've seen it from one, but like, I don't think it was if it was a white guy. I think he would have weathered it and survived it. The reason why with Jonathan Majors it was different, they were trying to destroy that man. If you saw the jury, it was all Caucasian women with one black woman.
It's just funny.
That was a hung jury. They rigged that jury. They wanted to take him down. They wanted to make an example out of him.
Well, the courts are corrupt, so I agree with you there. The courts have always been corrupt.
That's what I'm saying. That was a feminist controlled agenda.
But the messed up part is that there was no evidence of Vic Mignogna. Everything that they said about him, there was no evidence, and yet everyone cancel culture went after him and won. Although, in my opinion, Vic, what he's been through, Vic Mignogna has been vindicated. And then there was Justin Roiland, aka the voice of Rick Sanchez, and Morty Smith. There was no evidence against him, like no proof, no evidence. He was taken to court, and the charges, everything was dismissed. And yet cancel culture went after him, like, oh, he got fired, everything, dude. And yet there was no evidence to prove anything that was lobbed against him. So
I want to say something though.
It's the same kind of thing. It's like, if people are going, this is what shows that cancel culture is so toxic and awful.
I want to say something about that. I remember in one old stream, I was praising cancel culture. Now I'm hating cancel culture because now it's become an abused tool, and everybody's just going after anybody who they perceive as a bad guy, or just go off their emotions and just act before thinking.
Just like the comic skaters, all these gatekeepers. I've been saying that stuff for a long time since I met you and Ruby King, and that's what the comic skaters have been doing against Eric July, who is a black man, and they're all emotional and they're attacking him and name calling him. They've got no proof. They've got no nothing. They just say, oh, he's an SJW because he hired a former SJW. It's like, dude. They're not putting politics or anything into their art or their comics. Why don't you just shut up and wait? If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. Fuck off.
Exactly.
You're right. Cancel culture is being used as a tool. I've also explained it in a similar fashion, that it's a tool of the Marxists, of cultural Marxism. It's all about cancel culture. It's all about canceling culture and erasing culture. It's the toxic. It's the thing that is, being used to censor anime. It's what removes the Japanese cultural references from anime and manga when it gets brought over into America. It's just a toxic. It doesn't matter if it's feminist or masculine. It's just a toxic cesspool of the communist agenda. And it's that's what we see in Disney. So it's just funny that Disney, if these allegations, if it had been, brought against the guy who was playing Kang, if it had been brought against a white actor in any Disney movie, they would have fired him without question. So the fact that it went the way it did against him in such a fashion shows and proves your point that cancel culture is toxic.
I don't want to say this though. Like, I can kind of understand why most countries, when they see us Americans in their country, they take advantage of the fact that we're a long way from home and start fucking with us. I can understand why they like whooping on American people's ass or getting back at American people, because we be acting like we the shit even when we're outside our own country.
Right.
And so I don't blame other. And I used to wonder, why do other foreign countries let to fuck with us? Let to fuck with us when we in their country. And as I look at it now, and I couldn't understand. Now I see why they bully us. We be disrespectful as fuck, and then we like to impose our sense of right and wrong and shit like that on other countries in their own country, no less. As if we're more justified, more just, and more correct than they are, and we love to impose our views on other countries.
Like Johnny Somali.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like when I look at it from those schools, and speaking of Johnny Somali, you got people like him who go out disrespecting other countries, people in their own country.
And bragging about how America is better.
And as I look at all this stuff, amongst other things, I can see why other countries truly actually hate us. But they have a thing about they'll do it to a black person, but not to a white person, because white people, they say they like to make the excuse that white people are more protected than black people. Which, I mean,
considering what they did, considering what happened to Vic Mignogna and how he literally he practically isn't even a part of the anime industry anymore. Like the only way.
But I'm talking about like outside of the internet, not on the internet. I'm talking outside of the internet.
Right. He's not even on the well, he actually does have a live. He does have a live stream. But I mean, just like. If white people were protected, then he'd still be dubbing in anime.
Well, see, white people are protected when it's something that's not white going at them. White people are not the only time white people are vulnerable when it's their own coming at them. That's the only time I've seen it. If it was any other race, then good luck unless you're in their home turf, unless you're outside, unless they're away from home. But it's mostly white people checking white people. It's rare when I see a person of any other race check a white person. But then again, I've never left the country before.
Right.
And at the same time, the only time I see white people get checked in another country is when they're in another country where there's no type of laws or protection for them.
Well, there's really no protection for any foreigners in another country. No American's gonna have protection in Japan. No
and see, I remember there was this video, dude.
In Russia.
There was this video in Jamaica where this white lady had her phone out recording ish on Jamaican dude's land, and dude was telling her, "Oh, excuse me, man, you can't be recording out here. This is private property." And she just like talking about like, I can record whatever I want. So like a total Karen,
right?
And like, man, and let me tell you, you would think like if it was an American black dude, he would have probably busted or something like that, maybe go back and forth. But no, this dude that you think you in America that you think you can pull that shit in there. Dude walked up and gave her and like let her have it, like bam.
Now what I say that was,
but he laid her out, bro.
Would I say that that's reasonable or fair? No, but he did. Yeah. But it is private property. He can technically do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and he did give her warning. He did give her warning to go on by her business and tell her don't record their property, them and their property.
And technically,
she chose to continue doing what she wants to do, thinking she's more right, thinking she can do what she wants. She literally said, "I don't have to do anything. I can do what I want. I'm an American citizen."
And if she had done that on private property in America, the owner, if it was a similar person, regardless of their skin color, they'd be able to get away doing that because, hey, I told you this is my property. You're not allowed to do that here. Get off or get, fuck around and find out, right?
Yeah, and bro, did she fuck around and find out? Bro, that punch, you can hear the impact of his fist to her face.
Right. So
I laughed.
It would be. I'm sure it's funny. So looking at Phase 4, Phase 5. I mean, looks like that phase only had 5 movies, or has 5 movies scheduled as well. Deadpool and Wolverine is number 4. Marvel's was the 3rd, and Captain America: Brave New World, featuring the Falcon as the new Captain America. That's supposed to be the final of that phase. Guess when that one comes out? 2025. Dude, they're the first 3 movies of Phase 5 were all last year. There was only 3. Like, Disney has seen how, like, the woke agenda, it's burning a hole in their pockets. And so because of those strikes, they had to do all these reschedules. So it's just, to me, I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. There's only 2 more movies. There's going to be one in 2024, and then the last one is next year. So it's like, wow, it's a 3-year period just for a single phase. And then Phase 6 will have 3 movies in 2025. They're going to be bringing the new Fantastic Four. They'll have Thunderbolts. And then supposedly they're supposed to have a Blade. Now, I haven't heard that the Blade movie may have been canceled or something, but that's going through like several script rewrites. And the last thing I heard was that Blade wasn't even the main character of his own movie in that script.
Really?
Yeah, that was the rumor. And that's
the
supposedly
there's gonna be one. There's only one true Blade, and that's Wesley Snipes' Blade. That's the best Blade.
I agree.
Unless they can find a Blade that can outdo, unless this Blade can outdo that Blade, I'm sorry, Wesley Snipes is the only true Blade around here. And also, originally, Wesley Snipes was trying to get the rights to do Black Panther, not Blade.
Yeah.
The reason he ended up with Blade is because they wouldn't give him Black Panther, or at the time, BET had TV or movie rights. Because BET did have an animated series on Black Panther series.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is that there's not a single Avengers movie in this MCU phase 5. There wasn't a single Avengers movie in Phase 4. That's just weird.
Exactly.
There was at least one Avengers movie in each of the first 3 phases. At least one. That was the whole point. That each phase would end with an Avengers movie, so you bring all the characters together in a single film, right? Well, Avengers 5, which is supposed to be the Kang Dynasty, I'm looking at it now. It's now got a release date of 2026, and it's now coming out before Secret Wars. And Secret Wars is the one that's pushed back to 2027. So that one got pushed back 3 years. And 5 got pushed back by 1 year. Because originally it was supposed to be 24 and 25 for Secret Wars, and then Avengers 5. Or Avengers 6, I mean, Kang Dynasty. So now they swapped them, and they removed the Kang Dynasty title from Avengers 5. That is really interesting. They got everything to be announced for the director. They've got the same screenwriter for the 2 movies. However, with the Wolverine and Deadpool movie, the Deadpool Wolverine movie, I think that's really going to be the linchpin for Avengers 5 and Secret Wars. Because I have a feeling now that Deadpool is with this movie, he's officially going to be part of the MCU, right? So I know from comic book history that Secret Wars was basically like the crossover between all the popular brands, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Spider-Man. That was how Venom got introduced. That's how several villains from the Marvel comics, had their crossover phase and worked together or against each other. There was the Avengers who were also in there, Captain America, Thor, and such. And then there was, years later, they did the Deadpool Secret Wars comic, where Deadpool was like, "Oh yeah, I was technically there." You know what I mean? And he's like, and that's how they made some retcons technically official. And I think that's going to be, I think Deadpool is going to be in Secret Wars. I'd imagine, in fact, that not only Deadpool will be there, but several of the mutants from X-Men will be in there as well. Dude, this is just kind of crazy how things are changing, how things have changed with the MCU.
Right? Sounds like things are just. I guess they're trying to make up for their fuck up.
Well, they've got to. They've got to. I am though. Again, I'm just more excited. I'm like, you know what? The way Ryan Reynolds, the way he's been, he's basically the MCU's version of Henry Cavill. You know, he's what we need in order to help keep the Marvel movies from deteriorating further. And I wonder if this, like Doomcock, asked on Twitter, will this help save Marvel movies?
Yep.
Because we're gonna get Wolverine, we're getting Hugh Jackman back, bro. We're gonna be seeing probably several other. In fact, we're gonna see the original cast of the X-Men from the Fox movie, the first Fox movie. From what I understand, what I've heard is that Jean Grey's coming back, Scott Summers is coming back, maybe even Beast and Nightcrawler. We're going to get the original Professor X. Yeah. And there's also, I also heard rumors that the X-Men First Class crew are going to be in there. The new Xavier and Michael Fassbender's Magneto are going to be there. Maybe even Mystique. So we're going to, and those who are going to be there, what I understand is that they're going to have the X-Men costumes as close as they can, because I already, as I mentioned while you were away to watch the video, the trailer, I've seen screenshots from the set of Hugh Jackman in his Wolverine costume. It is very similar, as close as they could get to the X-Men animated series.
All right.
Right. The only question I've got is are we getting Anna Paquin back as Rogue? Are we? Because I also heard rumors that the Rogue they're going to feature in there. She's going to have her green costume. We may even see Gambit. And from what I've heard, the rumor is that Channing Tatum will be playing Gambit if he's in there. But I haven't done enough research to confirm it, and of course, the studios aren't going to be releasing stuff, this early. That was like a year ago when I was hearing all that stuff. It would be interesting to see whether or not this will prove the MCU can, it'll revive the MCU, and maybe it'll give Hollywood a chance to correct its mistakes.
And make some of that money back.
Right. Actually give fans the kind of content they're wanting. Because in Japan, when it comes to anime, the anime production committees and, animation studios, if they don't give what the fans want, the fans won't tune in. The fans won't spend money on buying the DVDs. The fans won't spend their money on the merchandise. They won't spend the money on the video games. And oh, well, there you go. You lost revenue. Now the company's got to close its doors.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
Yeah, break it down. That was so funny. Let me break it down for you. Oh, man. I should start doing intro videos again, huh?
You should. You definitely should.
I did kind of miss playing the Mario one.
Ah, the Mario.
Why did you make me do this? You're fighting so you can watch all of these mascots die. Think, Luigi. You'll outlast every fragile, insignificant franchise in this game. You'll live to see these series turn into pachinkos or mobile only. Everything and every game from your childhood will be ruined. What will you have after 500 consoles?
You, Mario. I'd still have you.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Would we be able to turn down the background music just a skosh? Perfect. You're the man, Ronnie D.
No problem.
No, man. I mean, you're the man.
What makes you say that?
You know, get it? The man. Not you're the man, but the man, the one who's a play on words. So, what else? What topics? You know, I'm going on and on and on and on and on and on. I'm just going on. But yeah, we were talking anime. So yeah, Hollywood's dead. The only thing I see, other than the last phase with Spider-Man Far From Home, that was pretty good. I mean, heck, that was better than Quantum Mania. So Far From Home was good. We got another Sony-produced Spider-Man movie. It's going to be the Spider-Man Venom crossover. Still no real word, but I've heard that that's supposed to be, you know, the Andrew Garfield movie. It's going to be an Andrew Garfield playing Spider-Man with that sort of thing.
So Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be Amazing Spider-Man 3, but apparently the rumor is that it's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He'll play Spider-Man, you know, with Venom coming into the MCU, and it's going to be on Sony's side. Like, they're going to be the one. It's going to be released by Sony rather than being part of Disney per se. But that's also what made Far From Home so good, was that it was mostly, even though it was MCU, it was initially Marvel, right? So that means it was Disney. But it was most of the production team and staff were from Sony. So it was a joint venture, per se. This one's mostly supposed to be all Sony. Other than that, we've got the
Hey, what's up, Fire Devil X?
Oh,
Am I in McDonald's? Because I see Ronald. And what's good, AnimeAj? Get it? Because you get it because your hair is like orange juice and like the color of your hair, because it's like orange juice, but like I don't know, but like it's like the color of orange juice, like your hair, but like
it's supposed to be the color of fire.
Oh yeah, but it should be like I just made that up because I feel like that should be like an orange juice brand, like a product, like an orange juice product. AOJ.
So other than the Deadpool movie and Far From Home, there hasn't been in the Marvel Disney stuff. You know, there's not a lot that I can imagine saving Hollywood per se. So let's switch it over to anime. Why, if Hollywood is dead, if American movies are dead, let's talk about anime. Earlier we mentioned at the beginning of the stream, you know, a lot of anime either have some sort of romantic subplot or element or angle. Almost every anime could be classified as a romance. What are some, other than that kind of thoughts, and it doesn't have to be a romance anime, even though, you know, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so if that's on your mind, go ahead and bring it up. But what are some good anime we could tell, you know, American moviegoers they should go watch instead of all this nonsensical Hollywood woke crap?
Oh, by the way, guys, I just had to do this as payback for for the joke for not being a DBZ fan. I just did that as payback. But yeah, but don't worry, we're even now. We're even. I just had to do this as a friendly payback. But hey, we're talking about anime and other stuff.
Yeah, the main thing today, before we get into any off the cuff conspiracies, is Hollywood is dead. Watch anime instead. You know, so we touched on some MCU stuff. We touched on some movies about, you know, because we talked about it over and over in the past. But it's a lot of people, like, It's a Gundam, you know, are like officially declaring Hollywood dead. Like, it's with the woke agenda, it's just gotten to the point that they're so broke, it's not even worth going to the movie theater almost. Disney's practically on its last leg. You know, there's rumors that Elon may buy up Disney with his lawsuit against Disney, and Gina Carano suing Disney, and he's backing her up in it. You know, so like there's all this political stuff going on. So yeah, let's talk anime. Demon Slayer is a manga that has beaten American comics in our own country. You know, more people are tuning into anime. More anime is becoming mainstream or popular. It's trending, and it's getting to the point that Hollywood, like Netflix, they're trying to cash grab on it, and they're trying to make they're making live action adaptations of anime, which is pointless. And the reason they're doing it is because they know, and they see that anime is a popular, trendy thing, and they want to get in on it. So really, like I've said, it's like there's no point in watching a live action adaptation of an anime. Just go watch the anime. So it's like that. There's no point in watching any movie that's made in Hollywood anymore. Just go watch anime. So what are some? So you know, again, earlier in the stream, like I just said, you know, there's a lot of anime that have a romantic subplot or romantic angles to them. So even though tomorrow is Valentine's Day, if you still want to bring up an anime that's a romance or a rom-com, sure, no problem. But let's just talk about what anime people should or we would recommend to people.
Yeah. By the way, Ronald, thanks for the link for the DMs. Thanks, man.
No problem, buddy.
I'm glad you sent me the link. It's a good thing you sent me the link on DMs. But yeah, anyways, thanks, man. But anyways, you can continue on to AJ. What are you saying?
So Ronnie D, what's some anime that you would recommend to newbies, or even people who have watched anime before? Let's talk about anime because again, Hollywood is dead or dying. Okay, let's watch anime instead. What would we watch?
Hey, Stefan, what's up?
Okay, for starters, My Hero Academia.
Yes.
Demon Slayer. Well, you already said Demon Slayer.
Well, I was referring to the manga, but yes, the anime is like really good. Yeah. Have either of you two seen season 3, the Swordsmith Village arc?
And Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, of course, and Digimon.
I like Ikitosen. Yeah, Ikitosen. I'm not sure if that counts as like a romance anime, but it's mostly action and fan service.
Speaking of Pokemon, y'all heard of Power World, right?
Yes.
I think I have. But...
Yeah. You know that Pokemon company trying to find a way to get it for copyright infringement or some ish?
Well, they're looking into it. And it does.
I mean, now when I look at some of them Power World monsters, like I'm thinking, like, hold on, did you kind of copy and paste certain Pokemon and then re-edition them to look like completely something else, but still look like what you copied them from?
Right.
And then add a level of a dash of debauchery to them.
Right. Well, it is moddable because I watched Gura. You guys know Gargura, the VTuber from Hawaii. And she had her Dino Gura model in there as her pal, and she was fighting and after those. And I'm like, wait, did the game create that, or I'm pretty sure it was a mod.
I'm getting the game though. I am getting that Power World game.
Oh, by the way, I got a question, you guys.
So what?
Sorry, I just had a real question, you guys. So, So since we're talking about anime, you brought up your questions, AJ. So if any of you guys watch Iki Tosen, it's actually a good anime.
Right, I remember.
I haven't seen it.
Iki Tosen's pretty good. I actually recommend it because it actually has good fight scenes.
Yeah,
I watched 2 seasons and 3.
Heck, a similar anime to that would be, is it
Freezing? Or
no? Let me look it up on Wikipedia real quick.
I also remember Agent Aika and Freezing. I did watch them though. They were pretty good.
No, I don't think that's the one. Let me try another real quick.
Speaking of, I feel like Iki Tosen should return.
Whenever I do think of Iki Tosen, I also am reminded of titles like School Rumble and Rumble Hearts, or Rumbling Hearts. So, yeah, those, I remember.
And my character is an Iki Tosen profile. It's a character from Iki Tosen.
Yes, I never watched all of Iki Tosen. I've seen a couple of the first episodes, so I recognize the lead female character and a couple other characters, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, it was pretty much. It seemed like a very fighting heavy type of anime.
Ooh, shall we bring up who's best girl? Because Ryomo's best girl.
I wouldn't. I have no idea, man.
Well,
like I said, I haven't. I actually didn't watch the whole show. I just.
I haven't seen it.
I think I could recommend it to you guys if you want.
Right. But if I see a picture of a character from it, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's from Iki Tosen." Like that's how well I know the character. That's basically it.
Yeah, there's some good action fan service anime that's pretty enjoyable for me to watch. Like Agent Aika and Freezing, like Freezing Vibration, and yeah, there's a bunch of good fan service anime that I would watch.
My most recent favorite fan service anime would be let's see here. I would say Monster Musume, and that one is beaten out by interspecies reviewers. If you want a fan service anime, that's the one to go for, in my opinion. Hands down, no questions asked. If you haven't seen, and the only way to watch it is the original Japanese, because stupid Funimation, got the license for it, did one English dub of did only the first episode as an English dub, and then dropped everything. They said, we're not doing the rest. And they still have the license, so that means the entire series cannot be put into an English dub. Because they're holding it. They're just sitting on it. So the only way to watch it is the original Japanese. And honestly, watching it sub is the best experience. That show is dude, I don't know if that would have been something you would have seen 20 years ago. Like, that's how crazy it is.
Yeah, I honestly wanted Iki Tosen to come back, but for some reason I used to want it to come back, but because I was planning to watch season 4, like Extreme Executor. But that's just me, though. But still, I can't wait to get to season 4 after I'm done season 3. Yeah, I got really, I really wanted to get. I got into season 4 and I couldn't try to I couldn't watch it until I'm done the other 3 seasons, like seasons 2 and 3. But I watched season 1 and it wasn't really much of my cup of tea, but it was pretty not too bad. But seasons 2 and 3 are better because of the designs are updated.
Yeah, that's always good when the designs are improved in the successive seasons instead of having a downgrade. It was very it was kind of jarring when they changed studios for, what was it, Attack on Titan, when it eventually switched studios for the final seasons, fourth and final seasons. After the first 3 seasons were all the same studio. So everything was
been weird.
style up until that point, and then after season 3, they completely changed the style because they switched studios, and it was a bit jarring at first. But after because they did 3 seasons of the final season, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, you get used to it by then because it wasn't too different. They still had the design so that they looked like the characters from what first started.
But yeah, I didn't like the season 1 designs, but I much prefer the more recent designs from Miki Tosin. But I watched season 1. I watched. Don't get me wrong. I watched all the episodes of season 1, but I'd still say it's not really my cup of tea. But I did watch all the episodes, like 13 episodes, and I did go to season 2, and I feel like this is much better than season 1. But yeah, it's more likely my opinion and taste. But if you like season 1, that's fine. But I prefer season 2. But don't want to spoil too much of the anime since you haven't seen it, AJ. So I don't want to spoil it. But if you want, I can give you some time.
Huh? Yeah, I'm still with you.
Okay.
I'm just multitasking.
Okay. So what other anime would you say is good? Would you recommend for others?
Inuyasha.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I remember Inuyasha.
I watched it as a kid before.
Ooh, what else did she do? The mangaka for Inuyasha. What else did she do? I know there's. Was it Mason? I think she did Mason Akaku. You ever heard of that?
Do what?
The creator of Inuyasha. She did other shows as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about Tenchi Muyo?
Definitely. And Code Geass.
And that.
I actually watched Code Geass. I watched all the seasons.
Yep. You know they're gonna do a 3rd season or something like that, right?
Yeah, I've heard that they may be bringing Code Geass back again.
Oh! Speaking of, speaking of Code Geass, do you guys remember the manga or the spinoff series Akiho the Exiled? I think you guys have heard of that.
Yeah, I said Akito the Exiled.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I seen 1, 2, and 3, but I didn't get to see the finale part.
Another good
the finale.
would be Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh.
Always and forever.
Oh yes.
But in my opinion, anyone who's going to watch
Outlaw Star.
Oh, Outlaw Star, yeah.
Oh, by the way, AJ. Sorry, AJ, but since you brought up Tenchi Muyo, I do want to say something. So I actually did want to get into it since it's a '90s anime. So I haven't really watched it, but I do remember Ryoko being Ruby King's profile.
Right, that's actually one of his favorite anime because Ryoko's one of his favorite waifus.
Yeah, I think I should get into Tenchi Muyo since I've seen Ruby King's profile of Ryoko.
Yeah, check out. I would recommend if you've never seen any of the Tenchi Muyo series because there's multiples out there.
What about Slayers?
Look up the original Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Oki OVAs. And I mean before they did the final season of that, because that was like a 10-20 year gap. So look up the original episodes. It's really good.
Yeah, but by the way,
Samurai Champloo is pretty good too. I think the original character designs for Tenchi Muyo and the original OVA, the Ryo-Oki series, that was probably the best character designs for any Tenchi Muyo series in my opinion.
Oh yeah, but by the way, speaking of '90s anime, what about Slayers? You guys seen Slayers?
Slayer? You consider Slayers '90s? Dude, that's '80s.
Oh crap! Well, I thought it was '90s at first.
Hell, even Dragon Ball Z is '80s. That started in '85.
Exactly.
Didn't Dragon Ball? The manga? Hold on. The anime came out in 1989 for Dragon Ball Z, as I heard.
Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball are one series.
Yeah.
It started in 85. The anime started in 85 and finished somewhere in the early 90s.
Okay. But wait, AJ, But wait, what? I first thought I thought Dragon Ball Z came out in '89 at first. I was wrong. So, but don't get me wrong. I've seen Dragon Ball. I've seen a few episodes of Dragon Ball, but only a little. But I first thought Dragon Ball Z came out in '89 because I must have, or I don't know if it was mentioned at first, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, it came out. The Z portion started in '89.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's what I just said. That's what I said. Dragon Ball Z came out in '89, I think. Right?
It's all considered one set. Even the manga, it's not called Dragon Ball. The manga isn't. There's no Dragon Ball manga and Dragon Ball Z manga. Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball as a manga is one whole manga set just called Dragon Ball.
Whoa, shit!
The portion that we refer to in the anime.
The only ones that are spin-offs, I guess, are the GT and Super.
GT was considered a sequel series to Dragon Ball Z as an anime. It was never a manga, and it only lasted 1 year. That's how poorly it went.
Dude, okay, I probably should do some more research on anime because I haven't got much motivation. But I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, don't forget Fairy Tail.
Right? Yeah.
And One Piece.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys.
As well as Trigun.
Trigun and the original Trigun, not that new CGI Trigun. Although some people are praising it, I'm still not certain. I may actually end up watching it though.
Wait, there's a new one.
There is a new Trigun anime. Yes, I am not a fan of the new designs, and a lot of it's heavily. It's like they basically, you know how there are a lot of VTubers who are 2D and or 3D, and then there's like the in between where they do a 3D version of a 2D design. Well, that's what Trigun looks like. It reminds me of certain VTuber character designs and such. It's pretty much it's like they took CGI, like it's all 3D basically. It's like a 3D anime. They're trying to emulate 2D anime using CG, and I'm not really I prefer the original character designs, especially for the two girls that follow Vash. You know, the insurance girls. I prefer their original the original Trigun design compared to this new series.
Oh yeah. By the way, AJ. Speaking of, I didn't actually know Slayers was from the '80s. I almost heard it was from the '90s, but I don't think I must have heard it was from the '80s. But speaking of '80s,
they had plenty of movies that were produced in the '90s. But it started
the motion picture.
Well, there were multiple movies.
Oh yeah, but by the way, there's another '80s anime I've also seen, but there's also another one I've seen. It's Project Echo. That's from the '80s though.
Project Echo, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I've seen a few fight scenes of Project Echo, and they're pretty good.
Right.
My brother recommends Eureka 7 and Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, I would recommend Yu Yu Hakusho too, especially anybody who likes DBZ.
Yep. I recommend Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter is good. Yep.
Yo, someone mentioned Bleach and the Frozen Your Blood War. What?
I would recommend the original Hunter x Hunter before, the OVA. That one was good. And I never saw it, but animation style, in my opinion, the animation and character designs, I think it was more hardcore than what the full-length series of Hunter x Hunter was. I think it was definitely better in terms of the design.
Okay.
And the original Death Note.
Yes. At least the first season.
Oh yeah. I remember that music from Death Note, the OP, the second OP was so rock and roll.
I loved all the openings and the endings.
That OP was so fucking metal. It was so heavy.
It was all metal, boy. It was all metal.
It wasn't just metal.
It was all great. It was legendary.
I watched a few episodes of it, but I never got into more of the episodes. I think I watched
the hormone.
Have you guys seen
There's also I want to suggest Fooly Cooley.
Oh, of course. Anybody who's like basically anything from Production IG or Gynax, Studio Gynax. That's who created Fooly Cooley. They're also the creators of Evangelion, the original.
Oh,
you're gonna get
and all the Gundam series and all the Gundam, especially Mobile G Gundam Fighter.
Oh, fuck that! Get into freaking Stardust Memory, 0083 Stardust Memory.
Hey, watch your mouth, sir. Watch your mouth. Don't be dissing Mobile G Gundam Fighter.
It's gonna be a fight.
It's about to be you about to get Bernie fingered, AnimeAj.
Fight! I'm kidding. I'm gonna stay out of this.
Oh no! Go ahead.
I won't deny that it's a fun show, but in terms of story, I would say that 8th MS team, if not 0083, blows it out of the water.
And then there's also Gundam Age and Iron Blooded Orphans. Now, the only thing I say that's just as good, is not better than Mobile G Gundam Fighter, is Iron Blooded Orphans.
I have not seen Iron Blood Orphans, but from what I've read,
hold on, you trying to critique Gundam and you ain't seen Iron Blooded Orphans?
Dude, have you even seen 8th MS team?
8th MS team.
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
Dude, I didn't even get to finish that one, and I was just like, look, every time it came on Adult Swim, I was like, I gotta catch the next episode, but then I missed one, or I end up getting the one after. That one was, I think, the animation style, the designs, the character designs, and the quality of animation, like that, in my opinion, is one of the best Gundam series.
Oh yeah.
I will say though that Gundam Wing, by far.
Yes. Oh yeah. Now that one definitely.
I actually tried to get into Gundam.
I couldn't even get to the original Gundam, the very first original. Like, sure, it's got a good story. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. I just couldn't get into it, and it's.
I could.
You know, then there's characters like Char and whatnot. Like they got the movies. Like I can see why and how the Gundam franchise was able to have sequel after sequel, and then the alternate universe timelines as well, like Gundam Wing. But in terms of anybody who's never gotten into any Gundam, I would say, at least from my experience, Gundam Wing is a very good story anime to go into first to see what Gundam is like, if not all about. And if you do like it, then you'll go ahead and pick whatever's. But otherwise, really though, as an anime aficionado, as an otaku, I'd say if you really want to be, see what Gundam is really all about, start chronologically and go with the original. Even if I couldn't get into it, I'm sure others could and can. But yeah, Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz. Did you guys see that?
Yep.
That was an event.
Okay,
that
let's be
was
fair.
a big Toonami event.
Okay, let's be fair. I actually did try to get into Gundam ever since I was getting into mecha anime since 2021. I almost got into mecha anime at first, but I almost planned to get into Gundam, but I somehow almost had the motivation to watch more mecha anime since late 2021.
Did you know Big O?
Oh my god, are you reading my mind?
I think I've heard of this.
Big O. Oh my god, you want to talk about a metal OP? Dude, that is metal.
Yeah.
And I'm talking the original.
It should have got a sequel or something, more seasons, or at least a spin-off or something.
So, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the English voice of the main character the same as Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Roger Smith was basically Batman.
Right?
Mm-hmm. He was basically Batman.
I gotta tell you, Dorothy was, she's definitely waifu material.
Oh yeah, speaking of Ronald, I did put a comment on a recommendation for anime. So do you see the comment right here?
I know Stefan recommended Naruto and Naruto Food. And notice he didn't recommend Boruto because Boruto is kind of dead.
Oh yeah, but you can show this. You can show this phone.
And he also said IGPX. That's a good one.
Oh, what about what I recommended in the comments? Yeah, this one.
Never seen it. At first I heard of it.
It's a mecha anime. I watched all the episodes.
Hold up, wait a minute. S. Cryad? You mean S. Cryad?
S. Cryad.
You mean S. Cryad, Stefan?
Or S. Cryad.
Hold up.
That was, oh my god. I
remember I told you about it.
I only watched that because it was, you know, it was on Toonami and my favorite anime would come on after it. So I'd be like, you know, it was just something to watch. I didn't watch it because, oh, it caught my fancy. It was just on because it was another anime and I checked it out and it was.
You caught my fancy.
It was definitely definitely worth watching just to see how the story plays out. I'll give it that. It's not something I'm gonna be like, oh man, I loved it. It was so good. I had to keep watching. But the ending, I mean, wow, that ending that hit different, you know.
Oh yeah. By the way, Freezing is an anime made by Funimation, but I did watch all the episodes in dub, but even season 2 was pretty good. Right, honestly, Freezing Vibration. What's up?
Any anime is better, in my opinion, watching the original Japanese with subtitles.
Or Kenshi, Mightiest Disciple.
Oh, I've actually heard of that. I've heard of one character in a few. I've heard of it. There was a video game of Tenchi, like Kenichi, the Mighty Disciple. I've heard of a video game about that.
Yeah, Stefan got me into it.
Oh yeah. I've also I've heard of that since 2017. Like since that one character who had like a purple bodysuit.
The hot blonde.
Yeah, that girl. Yeah,
with the big titty.
The girl. Yeah. That's what I've heard of, actually.
It's a hentai, bro.
Yeah.
You're getting pegged. You're gonna get pegged.
What the fuck, AJ?
Speaking of,
I'm not new to getting pegged, but Disney is.
Right? Yeah. Deadpool.
You opened the door for it, man. I'm sorry.
Right? Yeah. I mean, well, that's what I was making that reference. Yeah.
Oh wait, guys! There's also another one I've heard. I'm pretty sure this was from the 2000s, but it was on 4Kids. Bo.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's it? What? Bo. What's it? What? Bo.
It's so much better in the Japanese.
It was on 4Kids. You guys know that?
Oh, Ultimate Muscle.
Yeah, the English dub was done by 4Kids, the same company that did the Pokemon English dub.
Oh yeah.
No. Fuck 4Kids, but I gotta say fuck 4Kids. Why?
Oh, so you're saying fuck Pokemon? You were just
no. Hear me out first. Hear me out first. Why? This is why I say fuck 4Kids. When it came to the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, when it came to the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, we didn't get the actual endings as in the Japanese got all the endings in English in there, all the endings. We in America didn't get all the endings.
Dude, you should have seen what WB Kids did to Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah, I seen that too. That's another reason why I say fuck them.
Right?
They bastardized a lot of cartoons. Yu-Gi-Oh, they did the worst. Because especially 5D. No. I'm saying, especially they did 5Ds the worst out of all of them.
They did the worst when they attempted to dub.
Like they went the whole season from 5D.
Dude, they did the worst. The worst they did was when they tried to dub, when they tried to release the English dub of One Piece. Like it failed after the first episode, and finally they're like, "Oh, we dropped it," and they One Piece ended up getting a new company to do the English dub. Do you not remember what
Toonami did?
Right. Do you remember what 4Kids did to the opening for One Piece?
I didn't see it. I had to go back and look at it.
I know. I don't remember when that happened. I'm like, holy crap! The anime community is finally making a big enough voice that we got them. We got rid. You're like, fuck 4Kids. We don't want you touching One Piece any fucking more.
They don't even be touching Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
Yeah, like that was history in the making.
When I go back and watch 5D, especially the English version, I be so mad sometimes. I be mad, but when I get to the further end of the thing, I remember why I was so mad and why I hated 4Kids. Because one, a lot of episodes and a lot of certain scenes in episodes were cut.
Yeah. And that's
especially the one where Jack got the burning soul, where he summons his burning Nova dragon, where he faces up what is supposed to be the devil, and that episode was cut amongst other episodes. And then the true ending, the 5Ds, the whole thing was cut. Like they cut a whole season.
Mm-hmm. And that's why people when stuff like that is why people were so up in arms when when the 4Kids dub of One Piece got released.
Hey, GX got axed pretty bad too because they had a whole season or two cut as well.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones that got their whole season was the first one, the fourth one, which was supposed to be the worst one, or it got the worst rep, and then the fifth one.
Well, of course, Pokemon. The English dub. Even though like for example, like as an English dub anime, Jesse and James, their voices are iconic. Nostalgic.
Yo, there are some Pokemon episodes that are actually retcon or deleted in English. Like the one where there were actual guns being used.
Right. Yeah.
Or the one where the Porygon.
Right. Or the things where like
Porygon.
The Porygon one was probably excluded in America because when they aired it in Japan, that's how they found out that the stuff they had in it when they made that episode, how it was produced. Like it caused children in Japan to have seizures. So
I think in America too. No, I think in America as well because they did air it in America as well.
No, they did not air it in America.
They didn't?
No, that's why we never got it when 4Kids dubbed it.
Like I remember seeing the episode. That's the thing.
It came out later.
Yeah, I wanted Porygon to appear in more episodes. To be honest, back then when I was getting into Pokemon.
And even when they did air it, if it wasn't later, when they did air it in America as part of in the chronological order, it was heavily edited to remove those flashes. It was not the same episode that was aired in Japan. So right there is an example of censorship.
And here's the thing. I don't believe Porygon caused that season. I think it was Pikachu. I feel like Porygon was a fall guy.
It was the flashing.
But it was a flash called by Pikachu's Thunderbolt, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember myself. I've read up.
Yeah, I remember. It was Pikachu's Thunderbolt that caused the flash.
But they heavily edited the episode when it was.
And see, Porygon was the fall guy for that bullshit.
Well, because it was the Porygon episode, so yeah, there was a lot. So the whole.
And then Pikachu's the flagship Pokemon.
Right.
That's some bull. They did Porygon dirty.
Oh, dude, they did Kasumi dirty.
They did a lot of shit dirty.
They removed that wasn't.
Well, shit. Then again, we can't complain because Ash was done dirty so many times.
Right. Ash was played by a female, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, Goku's Japanese voice, I think, is a female or a kid.
It is.
It's a
yes,
female.
ever since he was a kid in the Dragon Ball anime,
yeah,
all through Dragon Ball Z anime, Goku has been voiced by a woman.
Yeah,
well, I think it's in most anime. Yeah, I think in most anime, most kids are voiced by women in like anime because most kids in anime are voiced by women. That's the point.
That anime is essentially animation in all animations, even in Disney animated movies. A young boy is typically voiced by a woman because
I know that's what it means. But go on. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Mostly because of the fact that young men's voices do break and mature as they get older.
Right. So having an older man it would hurt if not strain a grown man's voice to try and make himself sound like a preview Bessie Boy.
Okay, I'm actually thinking of like Edward Elric when he's voiced by Vic Mignogna as a young child, but in the Japanese sub he's voiced by a woman like Romy Park.
Right, but if you listen to Vic Mignogna in real life when he's not voice acting, even though he does sound like Edward Elric in the English dub, I mean it's very close. He doesn't modulate or modify his voice all that much. He's already got a high enough pitch to his natural speaking voice that he really wouldn't be straining himself with his ability to act using his voice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Edward Elric was in his mid-teens. So he wasn't voiced by... Vic Mignogna didn't voice Edward Elric before, when he was a child, when they tried to resurrect their mother. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it doesn't really say, he's a child. He's much younger. So it would make sense. Maybe I could be mistaken. I'd have to watch it. It's been so many years since I watched the first Full Metal Alchemist.
Don't worry about it, but I haven't even watched it myself.
Edward Elric, the story starts with him already in his mid-teens. So that is a good example. Because I believe Ash Ketchum in Pokemon starts out at 9 or 10 years old.
Oh yeah, but by the way, AJ, but yeah, you also have Toshiro Hitsugaya from Bleach, who's voiced by Steve Staley and Romy Park. So he's the youngest of the Soul Reaper captains, and he's voiced by Steve Staley in the dub, and he's also voiced by Romy Park in the sub.
Right.
Yeah, you also have Toshiro Hitsugaya from Bleach. Right?
And Ichigo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Ichigo and I think that Ichigo, yeah. So, but yeah, I do remember Toshiro Hitsugaya being voiced by Romy Park, and his dub is Steve Staley. If you guys are familiar with him.
Right.
But wait, AJ, I think you've watched Bleach, right? I'm not sure if you have, but
I only watched the first season back in the day when it was on Toonami.
Oh.
And that iconic opening.
Rukia I really liked. I was into the show for Rukia. I mean, I liked Ichigo, especially with the English show. That's what I was watching. It was Trigun, Vash the Stampede. So I was like, oh, hey, that's Vash's voice. But Rukia, pretty much why, that was my reason for tuning in. I really liked her character.
Oh yeah, but wait, AJ, were you trying to say Steve Staley before?
Johnny Young Bosch, that's it.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I thought I forgot who character he voiced in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. It was
But who's the character?
He voices a character in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I forgot who it was.
The current one that you're playing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of stars who voice characters. Danny Trejo versus the main antagonist in Chapter 4. The Barracuda boss.
Danny Trejo. What really? Machete.
Yeah. He voices Yeah, here's the thing. He voices the Barracuda boss. The gang that uses pin the guy who tried to rob them with the machetes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out the main character he voices the boss of the gang uses fights with machetes. And the gang uses machetes.
You think they're making a reference?
I mean, the boss is pretty badass and the game is pretty badass. And the fact that we got to fight him early in the game, like Chapter 4, because I think the game is 14 chapters long.
Yeah.
And each chapter is very long. So
that's
yeah.
Really cool. That's really cool that they have the boss of the Machete Gang played by Machete himself.
And Johnny on boss. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Since we're talking about characters who were kids, I probably should. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but I'll probably bring up Sasuke Uchiha as a kid because he was voiced by Yuri Lowenthal even as a kid.
Yep. I didn't like. I mean, Sasuke's he's got a good character arc, but I didn't care much for him.
I actually feel bad for him, though, to be honest, because of the hate he got. Because most Naruto fans hate him because of his personality and his character.
Well, he was just so oh, woe is me kind of bullcrap and wanting the vengeance and the emo aspect of it. It's just, how is this supposed to be cool? You know,
But here's the
whole
thing.
self-loathing and just wallowing in his own, not self-loathing, but really it was just this whole self-pity that he just.
Oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure he had a reason to be almost like that because his
Yo,
village being
y'all know
destroyed-
that Johnny Boss voiced Orga, who's like the boss of the military, private military that was in Iron Blood Orphans.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was one of the main protagonists.
Okay.
I think the second protagonist, the Deuteragonist, to the main protagonist. He voices the boss, the young boss.
I think his best roles were in terms of English dub for anime, because like as an anime fan, I tend to argue, over the years.
He also voices Pisces, Alba, Fika, and Saint Seiya.
Oh, okay. But for English dubs, I would say his best roles when it comes to English dubs, the
Zora Ideal and Black Clover.
As Vash the Stampede is one of the best examples of like E. I kind of consider that E.
Oh, he's Gil Tomioka in Demon Slayer.
Oh, I watched Demon Slayer. I mainly watched his season 1.
Yeah, he voices Gil.
Yeah, Gil Tomioka.
Yeah. He voices Sabo in One Piece.
Yeah. By the way, AJ.
And he also voiced a character in Godzilla's Single Point.
Yes, I think I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
He also was the voice of Irio Hiragizawa in Card Captor Sakura Movie 2, The Sealed Card.
Yes! Oh my god! Wow! Yes!
Digimon Try, he voiced TK.
Yup.
Mobile Suit, Gundam Thunderbolt, December Sky, Daryl Lawrence. Blue Exorcist, Yukio Okumura.
I've heard Blue Exorcist. I've heard of that.
He voices Artemis in Sailor Moon movies.
Yep. I gotta tell you though, I'm pretty sure, I feel confident that his
in One Piece Stampede.
He voiced 9. Wait. He's in the new Trigun Stampede anime?
No, One Piece Stampede. Sabo. And he voiced 9 in My Hero Academia Heroes Rising.
You know what would be cool? I would have to say that if I'm sure that English dub is out. I would have to say though, he's
the voice of Broly in Dragon Ball Superhero.
Oh yeah, Broly. Like Broly.
Sorry, fam, but Vic Mignogna is and always will be Broly.
Like he was in the he voiced the superhero version one. Broly.
I know.
Oh yeah, don't feel like it'll fit though. Don't get me wrong, Johnny Boss is a good voice actor, but it just don't. I don't think it'll fit.
The original, when they first brought in, like when they did the movie that made Broly canon in Dragon Ball Super, it was Vic Mignogna. That was his 4th time as Broly. See, because like Ruby King taught me when he schooled me about it, Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, the movie. Right? Remember the first 3 movies of that featured Broly? That was Vic Mignogna. That was Vic Mignogna in the first 2. And I'm pretty sure he lent his voice in the 3rd one, Vile Broly. And then they did the Dragon Ball Super movie where they introduced Broly. That was the last time.
Now I remember. Masumi Arakawa in Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Oh, speaking of AJ, if you don't mind, can I change the subject real quick? So we were talking about Sasuke. I feel like Sasuke had a reason to be like this because Itachi destroyed his plan despite not knowing why
Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z Broly. Okay, he was the Dragon Ball Z Fighter Broly.
Yep.
But yeah, AJ. So So I feel like Sasuke had a reason to be evil because mainly because he went to Orochimaru, but I feel like the reason he did this was because Itachi destroyed his clan, but he had a reason to because he didn't know, because he was ordered to by Danzo, but then he decided to get revenge on Danzo and nearly tried to destroy the Leaf Village because he was consumed by vengeance.
First of all, I'm glad. The only good thing he did out of that whole ordeal was kill Danzo. Danzo deserved his death. I hate Danzo.
Right.
Fuck Danzo.
Yeah.
Fuck him. First of all, that's for killing Shisui.
But guys, listen. I can still vouch for Sasuke though, because I feel like he didn't really deserve hate, to be honest, because I feel like he was good in part 1, but then in part 2 he turned into this evil cliche villain or whatever emo type of guy. But I feel like the reason he was emo was because his childhood and how he witnessed his clan being destroyed by Itachi.
So then why in the hell was he among all the rest of the other school kids who excluded Naruto? Everybody was all against Naruto in the very beginning of the series.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Naruto
It's because
had the fox demon inside him, and yet him and Sasuke
here's the funny thing though. Here's the interesting thing about the fox demon. They were not supposed to know, but the whole business was not supposed to know about that.
Well, Naruto wasn't supposed to know.
Let me finish. How they know about that is because Danzo, as a ploy to undermine the Hokage and try to get a higher position, gain more power, used that as a way to undermine the third Hokage and like undermine his authority.
Well, it was also because the kids.
So basically, he ruined a kid's life just to get.
Right, but of course, I'm talking about the kids like Sasuke and all the others and Sakura and such. And the reason the kids, because it was kind of like, oh hey, they're in school and Naruto is not allowed, like he's not welcome or accepted by the other students in school. All the other kids, hang out or associate with him. And the reason the kids all treated Naruto so poorly until Naruto finally, because Naruto was like, I'll become a ninja and prove myself, and when that arc started for him, he started his journey that way in the story. He started getting the attention of all his other classmates and his peers, all the other kids, and then so they started developing respect for him. He didn't let his situation get him down the way Sasuke did. Sasuke was in a better position than Naruto in the beginning, and then he ended up being lower, and Naruto was just the one who kept climbing up and going. He's not like. There's so much similarity between those two characters, and that's what makes them, in their story, makes them identical to Goku and Vegeta.
Oh, okay, but wait,
Sasuke are like Goku and Vegeta.
But hold on. Didn't the people not trust Naruto because he had the nine tails sealed inside of him? They thought he was a monster.
The kids excluded him. He was isolated. The other kids didn't associate with him because their parents taught that to them. So
But also, you guys can put in perspective too. When it comes to girls too, let's see, you can easily swear a girl if you're a pretty face. And Sasuke from the girls was that pretty boy.
Yeah, he was a brooding type. He was the brooding type.
Brooding, pretty boy, bad boy type. So that also kind of helped in his favor too. Cause and it's also been a thing in the universe that even though Mizukage said it, the Uchiha men were always such fetching men.
Oh yeah,
and of course,
they were also known for their good looks.
And of course, there's a reason through actual real life Japanese culture.
Oh, but here's the thing:
what hair color did Naruto have?
Blonde.
He was a blonde in real life.
So was Ino.
Hold on. I'm trying to make a connection with real life culture. In real life Japan, if a boy dyes his hair blonde, he's considered a delinquent, right? He's considered a bad, like, oh, you don't want to be around him. He might not be a good person. He might do something wrong or naughty. He doesn't stick to the norm. So there's that kind of cultural reference in terms of Naruto's design.
So if a blonde, blue-eyed white person would go to Japan, would they be seen as a bad person?
No, because one, the reason why about this whole delinquency thing is because Japanese people don't have natural blonde hair. They
That's
have
true.
to bleach it. They have to dye it, and to do that, see, it's up until recently, schools did not allow because one thing here, you may think that all Japanese people are naturally black hair. A majority of them are genetically black hair, but then there are plenty of the population who have brown hair.
Yeah.
However, since World War II, right? Because of World War II, the nationalistic imperialism kind of stuff, like the whole homogenous type of idea that everyone should have black hair, everyone should look the same. And there were other countries during World War II that had the same kind of mindset. Wink, wink. Well, that sort of thing prevailed even after World War II in the Japanese middle and elementary schools. A lot of kids in high school, well, not in elementary, but middle and high school, a lot of kids, by the time they get to high school, they're dyeing their hair black.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if they don't have natural black hair. So it's so that they can fit in. And if you intentionally dye your hair blonde, you're considered outside the norm. You're considered a delinquent, that you are not trying to fit in, right? You're not trying to be part of a homogeneous collective, right? So
that may probably explain why Ichigo was always getting attacked by kids because of his own hair.
Yes, just like in Bleach. And of course, that's exactly where the name comes from. That's why it's called Bleach. Because his hair, if it was real color like that, he'd have to bleach it.
What? This feels like a joke. I could make a joke of this, but I guess
I like how they did. I like that they use their own actual culture in their animes. I like that.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Ichigo is not really truly a thug. It's the perception of his haircut that gives him that gives that.
Well, even then, before he became, before he took over Rukia's position when she got injured in the first episode and such, he was perceived, even at school, as some people would perceive him as that delinquent sort of type.
Oh yeah. Also, AJ, so wait.
Who else had blonde spiky hair?
I mean, Ino had blonde hair, but she had like.
Well, she was, and there's a difference. I mean, she was designed to be, her design is literally taken from white women, and blonde white women, a blonde American woman is not considered delinquent in Japan. They actually, even Japanese men favor that, right?
Tsunade's hair color is also blonde.
But Bash's brother, Knives, he was blonde.
Oh yeah. Also,
well,
AJ,
what about those with pink hair?
Well, pink hair is just it's just meant to portray femininity. It's meant to. There's a reason why a lot of female characters in anime who have pink hair
or red hair
may tend to be named Sakura. It's a reference to the Japanese cherry blossom. It's a very feminine, pretty color.
Oh yeah. Also,
I
AJ,
wouldn't call Sakura feminine.
Yeah. Also, AJ, So wait. Also, I think I consider Sasuke more like the more badass type, but in a sense, he's pretty emo, but he's more badass in my perspective because of how cool and serious he is. But other than that, I still think he's a badass when he fights, but he's more serious in my opinion. But yeah, that's just me. But I feel like he's more serious and cool in a way.
Who?
Sasuke.
He's a bitch.
Yeah, he was a bitch. He was a whiny little bitch. Naruto had it just as bad. I could say maybe Naruto had it worse off than Sasuke.
He had it worse. Naruto had it worse.
Well, both of them lost their parents. They both lost their mother.
Yes, but one was disregarded and one was accepted in society more so than the other.
Right. So they both had similar backgrounds. They both had similar up. One of them ended up being a whiny bitch about it, and the other got over it and was like, "I'm going to make something of myself and become the Hokage."
Oh yeah, but then Sasuke says in the But then Sasuke says like he's gonna become Hokage and like in the war with Madara, and then but then I didn't remember Sasuke saying he was gonna become Hokage or like in one episode of the Great Ninja War.
Well, again, what was the difference between other than the examples I've already given? The difference between Naruto and Sasuke is that Naruto had an actual goal, and Sasuke only cared about getting vengeance.
But then Naruto tried to save him for some reason because he views him as a friend. Yeah.
Well, of course, that's what you do as a friend. You know,
Yeah.
and whether or not Sasuke considered Naruto an enemy, Naruto still viewed him as like, hey man, you know what? If I'm your enemy, I still care about you and love you enough as a friend that I'm going to try and bring you back.
In a sense, Naruto was trying to support Sasuke.
Right. And with that regard, with that type of context, there's a very, very hidden Christian undertone to the Naruto series.
Yeah, I feel like both Naruto and Sasuke both deserve love, in my opinion, because Naruto was hated as a kid because he had the Nine-Tailed Steel inside of him, and Sasuke's village was destroyed by Itachi because he, despite not knowing that the Danzo ordered him to. So I feel like both should get supports, the same amount of supports.
Right, and that's part of the Christian undertone that I'm expressing here with that story is that.
Sorry, guys, my mom's calling me.
They both had similar backgrounds, and yet it took a long time for them to really understand each other.
Yeah. But yo, it's getting about that time though. I gotta have an instant stream because I do have to take my brother to school early in the morning.
That was a good scene, but my mom was calling me, so yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully we can have another collab again to talk some more. I think you've got another accountability on social media panel lined up, Ronnie D.
I mean, we gotta just create a conversation stream like where you can talk about anything, everything, anything.
Oh yeah, I would like to do
Wait.
another one of these. Right. I think though you had something scheduled for the 23rd.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dirty 30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I'm actually glad I came onto the stream. Thanks, Ronald.
No problem, buddy.
Thanks for being here, guys.
And by the way, I'm glad I actually gave you guys payback, and now we're even, or if you want to call it even.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to call it even. I got you back, guys. I got you back.
All right. Well, we can do this again and maybe bring in some more off the cuff conspiracies and stuff like that. Talk more anime, whatnot. So yeah, you guys have a good one.
You too.
Yeah,
Peace
man.
out.
Bye, AJ. It was fun having you on. It was really fun having you on, AJ.